It is time for business news with Richard Southern. And Richard, let's start with a real talker here. Some well-known candy mascots are being retired, perhaps permanently. We don't know.
I don't know. It's even candies can be controversial now. Apparently, Erica, we're talking here about the so-called spokes candies that M&M has been using off and on since the 1950s. Some of the most iconic mascots in the food business, and they seem pretty innocuous. There they are. It looks like the M&M with the hands and the legs, and you think they're innocuous, but they've actually garnered some controversy as of late. Starting last year, Mars, which makes M&Ms, gave them a more inclusive redesign, including making two of the female M&M characters wear less stereotypically female attire. Earlier this month, M&M launched some limited edition packaging, feature-only female characters. And, while some have praised the inclusive efforts made by the company, others have been taken aback, including some of the big conservative talk show hosts like Tucker Carlson in the United States, Erica, who called them woke candies and all this. Mars says, listen, we didn't want to ignite any big controversy, so we're going to temporarily retire them, which seems a little silly that we've gotten to this point, isn't it, Erica?
I mean, people get really wound up by candy, spokes candies, I guess. So now we have to do this, but okay.
Here we are.
Maya Rudolph is going to be their spokesperson now, apparently.
The SNL alum, so very talented. Are you going to use her in the meantime? Yeah, it should be fun.
All right, we've been encouraged to support local restaurants in the midst of the pandemic, but some say tipping expectations are spiraling out of control.
And you see the tipping requests now, Erica, too, don't you? Not just at the restaurants, but if you're paying with your card at like a coffee shop or something like that, right?
And it's huge.
Starbucks.
It's a big screen, so there's no way to discreetly.
That's it. There's so much social pressure. When they used to have the tip jar there, that's one thing. Now, as you say, everyone's looking at you. Are you going to tip or not? And these tip suggestions keep getting higher. Some people now seeing 30% being suggested on these screens. And, some people used to take pride in the fact that they were good tippers in places like restaurants. But now you're seeing, as we say, these tip demands in, coffee shops or for pickup food orders. Indeed, the social pressure to tip might be working. Tips at full-service restaurants grew 25% in the third quarter of last year on a year-over-year basis. And tips at quick service counters like coffee shops grew by 16%. But, Erica, more and more customers are speaking out against this move because everything's costing so much more, and now I'm expected to leave a 30% tip. You're a former server, though, so, it's important that we do tip, I guess, certain people, right?
It is, yeah, and, I feel guilty if I don't do it as a former server, but I haven't seen 30%. I've seen 25%, but 30% is quite a lot, yeah.
Getting up there.
All right, restaurants are facing a real labor crisis, and so are many other industries, and that means an often forgotten segment of the workforce is now in high demand.
Yeah, older workers who pre-pandemic, many companies were, reluctant to hire if you're over 60 or 65. That's changing now because of the tight labor market. Everyone kind of looking for workers, and companies are putting more effort into not only retaining older workers, but hiring older workers as well. They're offering flexible working hours to these individuals or giving them more time off if they're past the typical retirement age. Still, old habits die hard. A new poll found just 4 in 10 managers were open to employing those over the age of 64 to a large extent. McDonald's, though, Erica, among the companies recently launching recruitment drives to try and hire those over the age of 60.